on, guys. So, as the title says, shafted. And as you can see, these are my broken drive shaft parts. This is the rear, and this is the front. And if you remember how it broke, well, here's a little clip to remind you.
It'll back up.
So as you can see, I snapped the front drive shaft and the rear. So, another broken part is another chance to upgrade, guys. So, let's get into it. Alright guys, here we are in my garage, and I already pulled the drive shafts. So as you can see, drive shafts are pulled. And today, I'm gonna show you the upgrade. So, let's start with the broken parts. So right here, this is my rear flange that goes to my rear drive shaft. And as you can see, it got in a bind and it snapped the ears right off. And this one is my front drive shaft. And as you can see, that one also snapped the ears right off. So first off, let's start with what this is. This is the rear flange, and that's the one that snapped first, was the rear. Now, what happened was, when I tried to get up that big rock, this thing, this tire pushed into that rock, and when it pushed it, it folded my shackle, because it pushed it forward. Going this way, so I was backing up, it pushed this axle forward, and when it did that, the leaf spring gave out right here on this end. So that's why it's clamped up, because it was all bent, and I got it clamped to put it back to shape, and now I'm gonna have to go flex it to get it to flatten out a little more, but it should be good. It threw off the drive shaft, which then binded this broken piece. So after I pulled the rear drive shaft, that way I had front wheel drive because I was in 4-wheel drive, I decided to try to crawl forward using the winch. It was so much stress on this that it snapped the weld yoke ears. These parts are custom parts. This is a flange that you can get from Northern Drivetrain. And it comes like this, just this plate that allows you to bolt up to a companion flange. So, this little flange, then you get a weld yoke. This is called a weld yoke. And you weld this onto it. And what that allows is, instead of having a regular flange like this that doesn't have as much angle, this lets it have all the angles if you're going to run leaf springs, okay? So right now I'm running Alcan custom leaf springs to make my drive shafts able to handle the axle wrap from leaf. This is a weld yoke to companion flange adapter, and this is a regular flange. So we have, this is off of my rear drive shaft. This is the slip, or the spline, I should say. This is the spline for my front drive shaft. It's a 10 spline. It's super thick because I want the strength. It's kind of long. What did I do to upgrade these two parts? First thing I did was I decided to go to a bigger U-joint size. What does a bigger U-joint size do for you? Well, a bigger U-joint size gives your flanges more angle to work with. So this is the completed one, and as you can see, there, and there. So that is the front spline. Now, another perfect example for you guys. This is an extra bastard joint I got. So it's a 1410 1350. And as you can see, so this is the 1350 side. And as you can see, it fits right in there, right? Because this is a 1350 flange. Now, if I go to the 1410, which is this way, now you can see how much bigger it is. So the width is bigger. So I decided to upgrade that to a 1410 flange with a 1350 weld yoke. Okay? So now that we got those covered, all right, so let's talk about my drive shafts. So as you can see, I have my front drive shaft right here, and I have my rear drive shaft right here, okay? They both have double Cardans, and these are 1350 double Cardans. So this one's the front, this one's the rear. And let's talk about drive shaft tubing, okay? Because when you are this long of a wheelbase, it is inevitable that your drive shafts are gonna hit rock. In order to hit rocks and not bend your drive shaft, here's what I did. Right here is a stock drive shaft, okay? This has a 1350 joint. It's off of a Ford F-250. And as you can see, when they talk about wall thickness of a tube, this is the wall thickness. So this is what a stock drive shaft is. And it's not very thick. I mean, as you can tell, if you hit a rock, it's definitely going to ding, bend. In order to combat that, because my rear drive shaft has to be so long, I made my drive shafts out of 250 wall. So this is a piece of 250 wall that I used to make my drive shafts. That's what my front and rear drive shafts are. They're super thick. I don't have to worry about bending them, nothing. So they can sit on a rock all day and just grind. That is the slip to my front drive shaft. And if you're wondering how long it is, what do we got there? Almost 13 inches. Yeah, it's 13 inches long. The reason I have my slip so long, when this thing is flexing, that releases a lot of slip, but then on top of that, because I have leaf springs, it pulls. So when it pulls, I don't want my spline to come out of the drive shafts. I always want it to stay connected no matter what. That's the drive shaft. In the video, you hear them talk about my T-case. This is the companion flange that goes to my T-case. Companion flange, just to show you guys. That's where that goes. When this broke, this also snapped off on the T-case end. Let's talk about my companion flange and why I had to do this. My T-case is a FJ Cruiser T-case. In order to run 1-ton drive shafts, Toyota drive shafts usually run 1310 or way smaller U-joints, smaller bolt pattern. You need to be able to bolt 1-ton drive shafts up to your T-case. This is a stock companion flange off of my T-case. A Ford 9-inch flange, okay? So this is a 9-inch flange. And what you do is you bore out this center hole right here, cut off this back part right here to where it recesses in there. Now I have a way to bolt up 1-ton drive shaft stuff to my FJ. Now it's time to install them. So let's get to it. All right, so let's install our companion flange onto the T-case. Impactor on. As you can see, she is locked into place. So we're good. And yeah, just in case you're wondering, look, see how tight it is in here? But it clears, baby. It clears. So that's what both of my flanges are. So next is drive shafts. One thing I learned was that double Cardans have a grease zerk. As you can see here, if you look in there, right there, there's a grease zerk right there on both of them. For good measure, every time I pull these out, I grease those, because once they're installed, you ain't getting in there. Grease gun right here. All right, guys, as you can see, the drive shafts are in and everything is installed. And we are now good to go. So everything is done. So anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope I gave you guys enough details and everything on my drive shaft setup, and that'll hopefully help you guys in your own builds. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna start putting out a video every 2 weeks. So stay tuned, because I got a lot more coming. Trail runs, we got trail battles coming up as soon as Michelle's Jeep's done. So it's gonna be awesome. Anyways, guys, so don't forget to please like, subscribe, and share. Anyways, guys, later.